Wolf, the CEO, wanted to make this feminist dating app so ironic as to how the tables have turned. That ad was definitely not feminist. Stop telling women how to live their life. Hey guys, Chelsea K right here, and welcome back to another installment of Small Acts, which is a web series where I take seemingly small instances of pop culture and critique them through a feminist lens in an effort to shift perspectives. In this video, we're going to be talking about an ad from a popular dating app that really shook the interwebs. So let's take a look at what's going on in the world of women. Okay guys, here's what happened. Bumble put up an entire billboard saying, you know fully well that a vow of celibacy is not the answer. And then on it, as you can see here, was the Bumble app, obviously insinuating that women need to hop back on the app and get it going on because a vow of celibacy is not the answer. I'm like, wow, haven't we learned? Like, it's 2024, we're in the 2020s, and companies, corporations, people have not learned to, one, mind their business, but stop telling people what to do and stop telling women how to live their life, point blank, period. And I think that is what caused the problem. But before we get into what the actual issue is, let's do a little deep dive as to why this was so bad, because of what Bumble, the dating app, the friend finding app, the career building app, what they said or what they're supposed to stand for. So in researching Bumble, that was founded in 2014, just 10 years ago, it said that Wolf, the CEO, founded Bumble when she left Tinder and wanted to kind of make this feminist dating app for women where women would make the first move in instances where that connection was like a heterosexual connection, and where it was not heterosexual, then either parties would make the first move. And it is so ironic as to how the tables have turned, because that ad was definitely not feminist. So I feel like what really separated Bumble apart from different dating apps, like for example a Tinder, was the fact that Bumble was meant to really serve as many aspects of women socially as it possibly could. So not only was it meant for dating, but it was also meant for networking and helping women in the business aspect of things, as well as finding friends socially. The first thought that came to mind when I saw this ad was that women, we can choose what we want to do, our body or choice. We can choose who we want to engage with romantically, sexually, anything like that, right? We can choose, as long as it's not impeding on the profitability of XYZ company. So for Bumble, that is what they kind of like use for their success metrics. I mean, they pride themselves on people not only making connections, but returning back to the app to continue to use the app to find matches and so on and so forth. So if we as women are making a vow of celibacy, then we're not going to be looking for, at least on the dating side of the app, to be connecting or matching with anyone. So we're allowed to make our own choices as long as it is within the realm of it not damaging profits of these companies. And I was like, wow, this is capitalism at its finest. And I'm so happy that people called it out for what it actually was, because that was super shocking. Like if it was from like a Tinder or even a Hinge I would have side-eyed it, but Tinder, I was like, okay, fair. But Bumble, we were rooting for you, Bumble. I feel like everyone was rooting for Bumble, and that kind of like was like a slap in the face. On the flip side though, I feel like this was purposeful, because I know a couple months back Bumble had to lay off about 20 to 30% of their company. One, two, their stock has been down, and I feel like this is the lowest it's been since it's IPO'd. I feel like this was a very strategic move to kind of like get people to start talking about Bumble again, because like, you know, no publicity is bad publicity. So they wanted to be in the press somehow, some way, some form, and I feel like this was like their way of doing so. And I feel like it low-key worked, because everyone is talking about Bumble right now. This is absolutely not good though, because I feel like currently there's the whole like man versus beer argument, where people are basically asking women, who would you rather be trapped in a forest with, like a man or a bear, and women are choosing the bear for like obvious reasons, predictability. You know what the bear is gonna give you, whereas with the man it's kind of like a iffy thing, and that's just like the tip of the iceberg, but we won't get into that into this video. They're like manosphere, very like toxic masculine influencers and YouTubers. So I feel like this is just like the worst time that this could have possibly happened, where, you know, women choosing to not engage sexually is kind of like being seen as a bad thing. Because at first it was like, oh, slut shaming, and like we had the slut walks, and women choosing to be free sexually was such a huge thing. And since then it's been probably co-opted, and now because women are taking that power back and saying, okay, well, this is how I'm going to be perceived, or this is what's going to happen, I'm just going to not engage, I'm not gonna date, I'm just gonna be celibate, then now that's being used as like a bad thing. So it's kind of like a lose-lose situation, right? Damned if you do, but also damned if you don't in this case, where we have a dating app that is meant to be feminist in their words, saying that knowing fully well a vow of celibacy is not the answer. Anyway, those are just my raw thoughts, my raw concerns, my thoughts too as to why I think everyone is kind of like up in arms about the whole Bumble situation, about why in particular this dating app, them putting this ad out there, was so problematic versus any other dating app as well. So excited to hear your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, with love from Chels. Bye.